Before I introduce my guest presenter today, who I'm sure you all are very familiar with, Olga Bondareva, I just wanted to welcome you all. This is a webinar in a series of webinars that we're doing about, entering the U.S. market, entering new markets. And what I do is I actually help software outsourcing companies enter the US market through helping them to write a book so that they can enter as a thought leader, right? And so if you go to the website customsoftwaremarketing.com, you can see a little bit about my services. And if you want to enter the market and really create a difference, really make a splash in the market, consider me helping you to write a book. I use AI to help take your content and turn it into a thought leadership book about what your point of view is, what your unique approach is, and how you see the world. But without further ado, let me introduce our guest presenter today. Very privileged to have Olga Bondareva. Olga is a former social media lead for Central and Eastern Europe at Microsoft. And she's the founder of Modem Up, a social selling and LinkedIn marketing agency and platform. Olga today is going to share her vast experience using LinkedIn to enter global markets. And as you'll see in the presentation, she talks about defining and differentiating what is exactly a global market. So without further ado, here's Olga. And by the way, everybody, this is going to be an interactive presentation. Please feel free to, Olga will be asking some questions. If you have any questions yourself, please feel free to put it in the chat. And Olga, I don't know what you want in terms of the protocol for people asking questions on the video. Would you like them to ask away, or do you want to hold those questions to the end? Tell me what you want to do.
Yeah, I think that's you could just post your questions in the comments in the chat, and we'll decide if it's, for example, the question that could be answered right now and right here, we could do it right now. And if it's the question that needs some additional time, we can do it at the end. So yeah, it's quite flexible. So just don't keep it, just share your question.
Okay, perfect. So here we go, Olga. I want to give you the floor. You are the star of the show. Go ahead.
Fernando, could you please send your website in the chat, because I think that many of our audience representatives could be interested in that. Yeah, yep. So
here we go.
Fernando is awesome. Yeah. So yeah, let's start then. Yeah. So today we are going to talk about how to enter a global market via LinkedIn, how to do it, and what is actually a global market. So you can ask your questions, and we are pretty open to answers and to comments. So yeah, we would appreciate any feedback from your side. And a couple of words about me. Actually, Fernando already said a lot about me, and I wanted just to add that, yes, I used to work for Microsoft, and there I first heard about the social selling approach we are going to talk about. And for now, for almost 5 years, I work as a business owner, and what I do is social selling. And you will know what it is, because it's a very complex approach. What to expect today? We are going to talk about the global market, that it doesn't actually exist and what exists in its place. We are going to share some LinkedIn tips and tricks for software outsourcing companies and some case studies as well. And we are going to talk about some LinkedIn specifics by region and some maybe different user behavior for different regions, how you can adapt to that. And if you have time, I will share some bonus, the guide actually, how to earn your LinkedIn Top Voice badge in 3 steps. But you will get it anyway, even if we don't have enough time to discuss it. I will still share it with you because I have LinkedIn posts about it, some articles, so you will do it anyway. So let's start. About the global markets. Usually clients come to us with the goal to enter some certain markets. But some startups, they come with the request that I would like to go globally. I would like to become a global company. Help me with that. And actually, I'm not surprised with this request, but they don't make a lot of sense, because actually it's impossible to just enter the global market, because global market doesn't exist at all. There are many different markets, and all of them are unique, and they have a lot of specifics, and you can't just enter the whole world with the same approach. You need to focus on some markets which you think are the best for your business, have higher potential, and you need to focus on them and become actually local on these markets. That's the one of the, I would say, complicated questions here is, why choose you over local competitors? Usually they could choose you only if you are significantly better than local competitors. And it's very hard to prove, because usually they know about local companies, but they know nothing about you. If you're really cheaper than local competitors, and it's not relevant for all of the businesses, it's relevant only for the companies that are looking to cut costs. And you don't want to do that. I'm pretty sure. And especially, for example, here we are focused today on software development companies and so custom software development companies. And for these companies, I guess there are some countries and some regions, they are really offering some very, very cheap services. Yeah, you probably know these companies. And I think that you don't want to go to the same direction, to have a very low margin. And so, yeah, it's not the good way to do it. And the third option is that some services or products, what you're offering, they are very, very unique, and they just don't exist on some local markets, right? And they have to work with some foreign partners. But it's very rare situation, because usually, especially on developed markets, there are so many services, so many products, and so many competitors. So it's just impossible, almost impossible. Of course, everything is possible, but it would be hard to find something like that. And what can you do in this situation? First, you can become local. What does it mean? What does it mean become local? For example, my company is based in Dubai, not mine, but some of our clients. Their company is based in Dubai, for example, and they would like to enter the UK market or the US market or something else. How to become local? First, it's about building relationships and about building your network, because only if people know you, they trust you, they feel that you are like a local person, and they become ready working with you. How to do it? What's important here? Actually, physical presence is very important. Especially, for example, I've recently moved to the US, and I can feel it, that physical presence is the key. And it's relevant for LATAM region, for MENA region, for almost for every country, actually. Physical presence is very important. And you need to build your network, and you need to build real friendship. For example, help people without expecting anything, yeah, and building like very good relationships, very positive relationships with them. It's very important. Or the option two, or you can do both. You can partner with local companies. Local companies, they already have everything what we've discussed on the previous slides. And it's important to find these kind of companies and become very useful for them, very valuable for them. And how to do it, actually, you could find companies with some complementary services, but it's better if they are not your direct competitors, because if they are not your direct competitors, they could feel value of your collaboration, of your joint work. For example, for software outsourcing companies, I will be sharing some case studies a little bit later. And for both of them, system integrators became really great partners, because system integrators, they don't just implement some solutions to the companies, they also could develop something based on these solutions. So they do custom software development, but they usually don't have enough resources, or maybe they're not competent enough in some certain technologies or some certain kind of projects. And for that, they they would be happy to have a partner, like reliable partner, competent partner, who could help them with that. And this is why they are very interested. So for the case studies, yeah, I will be talking about these examples, but before that, I would like to explain a little bit more what the social selling is and what kind of approach we use on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. Social selling is an approach that focuses on personal social media profiles. And what we do through these profiles, we acquire potential clients, partners, or even employees sometimes, but mostly we focus on clients and partners. And social selling is based on lead nurturing approach. It means that in B2B, especially when we focus on large and medium businesses, they don't have the need in your services right now. You need to nurture that. And when they just start thinking about, wow, I need to, for example, start a new project, I need a software outsourcing company, or I need someone else, some other partner, yeah, they will think about you first, because you will be on their top of mind, because you've already done some work. You nurtured them using social selling approach. How to do it? We usually help our clients to connect with people on LinkedIn and other platforms. We prepare regular content, and this is how we generate demand. We demonstrate client expertise. We demonstrate some case studies. It's very important. And also we build relationships using some soft interactions like reactions, comments, skills endorsements, and something else. And we need to jump to personal messages, to private messages, because it's very important. And most of the leads, most of the opportunities, they are hidden there in personal messages. So you need to communicate with people and be very valuable to them, maybe help them somehow. And also, of course, you could use a direct approach where you are offering your services, but it doesn't work for all of the markets, and we'll discuss it too, how to do it. So basically, yeah, there are 3 steps. Like, potential clients start reading your posts, yeah, and I can see the Fernanda's comment that you provide value first, yeah, by content and in personal messages too. Then people start interacting with you, and or you could proactively start interacting with them too, because it's not very comfortable, could be not very comfortable for them to start interacting, to be an initiator of this communication. So you also could start it. And after some time, they start just maybe asking questions, requesting some materials, etc., etc. So this is how you build your network. And this is a long-term game. It's not a fast way. It's not like the cold outreach or spam. And believe me, I've tried several times. We had many projects with software development companies, and some of them were unsuccessful. And I'm just very open to discuss it. Yeah. And why were they unsuccessful? Because of this approach, yeah, it's cold outreach without showing your expertise, without showing some, maybe without giving value, yeah, and without being physically present in this location. In these projects, yes, they just showed very low results. But I would like to show some other projects that are that have better results. So As I mentioned already, that LinkedIn is the main platform for social selling, but we could also use some other social networks or messengers for that. So I would like to share two case studies. They are different from each other and they use some different approaches, but they have some similar things in them. So I hope it would be interesting and valuable. The first case study is about software outsourcing company for fintech businesses. And this company is based in Warsaw, but they would like to enter the UK and Netherlands markets. So what we do for them, yeah, we are looking for fintech, banking companies, and system integrators on LinkedIn, and we connect with them. And these companies, our target companies, are large and medium because it's very important, yeah, to focus on some certain segments. And on LinkedIn, especially if you do I would say, a little bit of personalized approach and you work with your personal profile and you invest a lot of time or money in that, I would recommend focusing on large and medium businesses because it makes much more sense than focusing on small companies. And we work with this company right now. So what we've done already for the first 4 months, we grew the base of the target audience representatives, and now the CEO of the company has almost 1,000 people, like relevant people, on his profile, and this is the base we continue working with. And we attracted 56 interested target audience representatives, and it means that they share their emails, they ask questions, but they are not ready yet to have a meeting, for example, but they are very interested already. And we generated 24 leads. It means real meetings or calls with them to discuss the actual services of this company and opportunities to work together. I would like
I have
yeah.
a question for you about that previous slide.
Yeah, sure.
So when you say that 978 representatives, are these friends of the CEO on LinkedIn?
Yeah, his connections.
His connections. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, relevant connections. Yeah, that's from his target audience. For example, they meet the criteria we've discussed.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, thank you for the question. Let's continue. And I would like to show you some of top performing messages we use. We usually in projects, we test various messages and we try to understand what kind of approach would work better for this particular client. And for this client, the networking message worked best, especially in the UK market, because in the UK, there is some specifics that they don't like when people push, when they just aggressively sell, and they really appreciate polite approach, yeah, and they appreciate if you are a very experienced person and you have some content on your page. This is why our client is kind of a thought leader because he shares a lot of insightful information for fintech industry. This is why this message worked well, and we generated several calls with people and repeated calls because, for example, after the first call, they invite some additional team members. Yeah, so this is also a great sign that they are interested. And the second message that works well for them is the longer message for system integrators. Because as I mentioned before, the approach where you work not only with potential clients, but also with potential partners is very effective because these partners, they need some reliable software development partners, and on the same time they already have the network, the brand, and everything set up on the market, and this is great. So I will share these slides with you. I will share my LinkedIn profile. You could just reach out to me and I will share the slides, and also Fernanda will share the recording. So if you need some of these scripts, some of these messages, yeah, you will get them. So we will share everything. And this is a follow-up example where we just remind people about us, because usually on LinkedIn, when people ignore you, it's very popular behavior, because people get so many messages, so much spam, and of course they could start ignoring you, and you need to remind about yourself, and they could probably answer after the second message or the third message, or maybe sometimes even later. So the second case study is about software outstaffing company. It's a little bit different, but it's close to outsourcing for healthcare industry. And here we target MENA region, and a company is local. They are based in Dubai, and they are very local, and it also helps them because they could do, for example, some on-site networking activities, and it's very important. And for example, for United Arab Emirates, it's very important. People really appreciate this on-site activities, meeting in person. Yeah, it's crucial for this market. And our target industries here are health tech and also system integrators, because partner channel works great and it's very effective for business, especially if this business is local. Yeah, so for them it's not as crucial as for the previous one, but still system integrators is a good channel because they already have connections with large companies. And for the first 5 months, here we work a little bit longer with them. We grew the base of a little bit more than 1,600 representatives of the target audience in the CEO and founders profile. And we generated 88 interests. It means that they are asking questions, sharing emails, and they are very interested in the topic. And 26 calls or meetings. And on this market, we had more meetings, like physical on-site meetings than calls, because people prefer that. And also with some people, our client met at GITEX. This is a huge conference in MENA region. So they met there too with some people, like 3 or 4 people. Yeah, they decided to meet there. Here we can see that the most effective, the top performing message was for system integrators. Yeah, that they have this need, they are looking for partners. And this is why when they see this kind of message, this is a very direct message, right? It's selling message. It's nothing about like the soft networking approach, but it worked best. We also tried some networking messages, some other messages, but this one worked best. I think because, yeah, when you offer partnerships where you could mutually benefit, you can earn together. Yeah, it really helps, and people become interested in that, and system integrators want to talk and want to discuss it. It's great. You could use it. And of course, follow-ups. Yeah, follow-ups are very important, that people could forget about you. Even if they are interested at the beginning, they could forget about you because it's social media. Everything is distraction here. Yeah, some notifications, some messages, some posts, they can just forget about you very easily. This is why, and they also have some spam. Yeah. Fernandez also is confirming that follow-ups are very, very important. Yeah, it's crucial, yeah, for every market, but especially for the markets where many companies are selling at the same time, where the level of competition is very high. And this is why it's a lot of spam. For example, in the US, in the UK, in the Emirates, yeah, and some other countries like Singapore and some other countries in Europe. And yeah, it's crazy. It's very spammy markets on LinkedIn. This is why follow-ups are very crucial. So if to talk about like what's important, yeah, based on these case studies, first, you could probably notice that these companies, they have some specialization. One company is for fintech, and the second company is for health tech. And it's very important because if we're talking about software outsourcing companies, they have many of them, not all of them, but many of them have the same problem. They just work with any any company, any project that comes to them, and they don't have a specialization. But it's very important to define it and to communicate it, because if you have it, potential clients and potential partners, they feel that you are an expert in this. But if you work with everything, like every industry, every technological stack or something else, it means that you're not expert in any of that. So this is why specialization, it's very, very important. Also, it's important to become local or partner with local companies, or you could do both, because you need to build trust, and it really helps to do that. You need to create expert content, because especially if you choose the first approach, become local, yeah, not work with some partners, because it's about trust and it's about demonstrating your expertise. It's about becoming a thought leader. It's very important. And of course, you need to build your network, and not just, it doesn't mean just, sending connection requests on LinkedIn. Building your network, it means some joint projects, some maybe helping some other people without expecting much. Yeah. It's about getting people to know you better, and yeah, for example, doing something for free and everything. I do a lot of, for example, I moved to Austin and I built my network, and I do a lot of things for free here. I consult people on LinkedIn. I conduct some workshops. For example, on Saturday I will have a workshop. And so it's important to invest your time and invest your expertise in building your network without expecting anything, actually. And it's very important to focus on long-term relationships. And I believe that when you enter a new market, you shouldn't expect very fast sales. They will be delayed, maybe 1 year later, when since the day you just entered this market. Or with some companies, it could be even more than 1 year, maybe 2 years or more. But of course, there are some exceptions. Yeah, there are companies that are very fast in terms of sales, but no, it's not about software development. It's for sure, it's a very slow process for them. Yeah. And I can see that Sergey has a comment that I need more good examples on 4.1. Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy for anyone, I would say, but it's important to specialize. Usually the best way to specialize, I guess, is by industry. It doesn't mean that you should just say no to all of the companies from from other industries, right, that come to you. But it's very important to focus on one industry in your communication. For example, it was fun. Recently, I've attended here in Austin. I've attended an on-site event. It was a large conference on cybersecurity marketing, and I was talking with several agencies. They had their booth, for example, on some, maybe in some rooms. Yeah, and I could talk with them, and what they said that, yeah, we position ourselves as cybersecurity marketing agencies, but in reality, for example, we have 50% of our clients from the cybersecurity industry, but the rest of them, they're not from it. So it's not about your real clients. It's about what you communicate to the markets. And if you communicate your specialization, it's very important. I saw also some specialization by technological stack. For example, we work with .NET, or we work with, I don't know, Java or something else. But I think it's not a business-oriented specialization, and it's relevant only for the tech audience. But for now, before maybe 10 years ago, CTOs and tech audience, they decided who will be, for example, a company you invest in, you work with. But for now, business decision makers, they decide. And you need to adapt to that. And for example, if you focus on some technological stacks, it's not relevant for them. They just need to solve their problems. They just don't care what kind of I don't know, programming language you use or framework you use. They need some certain solutions. Yeah. This is why I would recommend specialization on some industries, or maybe you'll find something else, but it should be business oriented, not, for example, oriented to some tech professionals. And also, I would like to share some specifics by region, how LinkedIn audiences could behave and what they could do on LinkedIn and how to approach them more effectively on this platform. Let's start with the US, because the US market, I think that it's the most desired market for many companies, and it's a very high competition. Many software development companies want to enter this market. They want to sell here because it's higher pricing and higher margin. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But it's not so easy to enter this market. And probably if you don't have enough resources to invest in this market, probably you could choose some just faster ways how to enter some new markets. And what about the US market? On LinkedIn, we have 100 million users from the US, and 3 million of them are active. It means that they post regularly, and you could, for example, find their content on LinkedIn and maybe link your messages to this content. And also, there are 18 million companies with a local HQ. So quite many companies from the US are on LinkedIn. What kind of specifics we have here? We work with the US market too, and we notice a lot of specifics here. And first is that you need to build trust and long-term relationships with your potential clients or partners. And it's usually about not pushing, not selling right now, but beginning with some networking messages, being valuable for them first, sharing some valuable materials, etc. And of course, you need to broadcast your expertise. You could do it, for example, inviting them to your events. What else you could do? You could utilize warm introductions, because it's a very effective way how to find first clients. If you know some people, you could ask them to introduce you to some potential clients or partners, and it would be fast track comparing to just regular way, cold outreach and etc. So, and the first thing is that you need to maintain your LinkedIn activity regularly. The US audience will notice you, and they will know that you're an expert in certain topic. So it's important to create content, share some practical tips and tricks, and of course, showcase your expertise in some case studies via some webinars and some other content types. Also, it's important to demonstrate your sincere interests in your potential clients. For example, you could comment on their posts and respond to their comments on your posts, and you could have this conversation with them. It's very important. Also, you could engage with some influencers on the market, because if you work with influencers, of course, people start trusting you more because they already trust these influencers, yeah, and you could partner with them. And for example, it works very well to invite some influencers to speak at your events. We usually do that. What else? You shouldn't expect quick results, I would say. On average, yeah, it's a long process, a year maybe, or even more with larger businesses. And you need to have a lot of resources and a lot of time to do it. Yeah, Fernanda is saying that. Yeah, this is why I invited Olga. You're an influencer. Yeah, it's a good way to do it. So this is my perception of the US market, because actually I've just recently moved here, and this is just my opinion. It's not something, objective, but this is how I see it. Yeah, that, for example, you have a client, and um, there are so many people around the potential client. For example, their neighbors, some influencers they believe in, and some on-site connections. And potential clients prioritize this very narrow circle, because if they start looking at the open market, yeah, for example, to all of these LinkedIn spam messages, or email spam, or something else, or even physical spam by direct mail, yeah, some paper and some other things, it's crazy. It's a lot. It's overwhelming, and it's really hard. This is why I think that US audience just is trying to protect themselves, and is trying to build their narrow, warm circle. And to be successful on this market, you need to just to become a part of this circle. For example, become a neighbor of your target clients, or becoming, I don't know, superstar influencer they could trust, or meet them on site, and then continue building your relationships. So this is how it works in my perception, yeah, in my opinion. Maybe if you have experience with the US market, you could also share it in the comments. Maybe you have some different experience. It would be also very valuable for us. So please share. And the next market, yeah, is Latin market. And actually, it's not a one market. And for example, for the US, it's also true that it's not a one market, because every state is different. And you need to have a little bit different strategy for each state. But here in LATAM, it's not just states, it's many different countries, and even two languages, right? Spanish and Portuguese. And here it's important to adapt to each country and each culture, but they have some similar characteristics we will be talking about. So it's also quite many LinkedIn users from LATAM markets on LinkedIn, but a little bit less active people comparing to the US. 3 million comparing to 1 million. And only 3 million companies. It's not just a small number, it's a lot, right? It's a lot, but comparing to the US, where we have 18 million companies, of course, but still, it's a very high potential market, and you could work on this market. What kind of specifics here we have? First, you need to speak local languages. The popularity of English language is not so high. People actually prefer speaking Spanish or Portuguese, depending on the country. So it's more effective to adapt to that and to speak local languages. You need to show emotions. It's very important to express your positive emotions when you talk to people in private messages on LinkedIn, in your content, and of course, during calls or meetings. So it's important to invest in small talk, and of course, you will benefit from it. Also, it's important to demonstrate your personality, because your personality really it's very important for the audience to feel who you are, and kind of feel your vibe. It's crucial. So what can you do for that? You could share some photos, some videos, or you can share some other stories. This is why, yeah, you could think about it. And some other communication specifics. We had some funny situations, for example, in Chile, in Brazil, and some in Mexico too. Usually, the target audience could ask, just for example, this is my number, just call me. Please call me. I'm interested, call me. And For our clients, it was very uncomfortable. How to call them? We need to agree on some time slot first, put it in the calendar, and then call. And this is how we lost several leads, because these people, they don't reply to the next messages where you try to negotiate a time slot and everything. They just ignore it. And what they're expecting you to do is just call. Yeah, so it's important. Just call, don't wait. Just do it. And this is how you will get the real meaningful conversations with people. Also, yeah, Fernanda is saying that's true. And it's very important because Fernanda also is very experienced professional in Latin market too. And yeah, it's it's important that you approve this this idea. And the next idea is you need to jump to WhatsApp as soon as possible, because utilization of WhatsApp in Latin American countries is crazy. They use WhatsApp all the time, and they actually don't like anything else, probably. Of course, it's not true, but WhatsApp is the highest priority. This is why the actually potential clients, your leads, most of them, they suggested themselves. For example, they ask, could we please continue in WhatsApp? This is my number. Or some of them could just skip it. But if you do it, if you suggest jumping to WhatsApp, it will be much more comfortable for them comparing to continuing conversation on LinkedIn or even via email. Yeah, WhatsApp is the best channel. So here, in my opinion, it's subjective, right? But this is how I see this market, that it's very open, and people are curious. They are interested in new partnerships. They are interested in new potential, maybe suppliers or any potential projects. Of course, it doesn't mean that all of these projects will happen and you will close deals, but they are very open and easygoing, and you could just start the conversation with very easily. And if you offer something valuable for these markets, for example, we have some clients in logistics that are very successful in Latin region, in EdTech industry, they are also quite successful in Latam, and some other clients. So if you are offering something that really makes sense for these markets, for the companies in Latin America, it will be a very fast process from your first communication to deals, because yeah, if you are offering something relevant. So if you have some experience in Latin America, please also share. And we are going to the next region, is MENA region. And here, of course, it's also about various countries, and they are very different, but they have similar characteristics, and we'll discuss them. First of all, it's quite smaller region comparing to the US and Latin America. They have 64 million users on LinkedIn, and active audience is a little bit less than 1 million, and 1 million local companies. But it's still a lot, and these markets are large and they have high potential. So you could also consider these markets. What's important for MENA region? It's important to cultivate relationships. It's very crucial to creating these on-site connections. Yeah, people appreciate it. Nurture your relationships and provide a lot of value to people. Yeah, and what's very, very important here is to show why you should be trusted. And some regalia or some numbers, some credentials, some results, facts, they are very important here. For example, if you work with some large, well-known brands, it's very important for this market. Or you have some other impressive results or something else to impress people here, yeah, it will help you much. What else? You could show your personality too, and actually it's important almost everywhere to show your personality. And this is how I see this market. Yeah, that people are very, I would say, serious in terms of they want to work with some high level companies, not in terms of the large businesses, right? But they need to have a strong brand. They need to have some reasons to believe. And only if you have that, they will trust you and they will work with you. This is why we have like global company with a strong brand, local company with a strong brand, and influencer and on-site connection. It's also very important to build your on-site network here. This is why, yeah, it's important to be local, and it's important to partner with local companies with strong brands that already have their network and brand and everything you need. What else? We have the last segment is European audience, European companies on LinkedIn. There are also many people here from Europe, from different countries, like 100 million, and active audience is a little bit less active than comparing to the US, but on the same level as Latin America and MENA region. And there are quite many companies here, 29 million on LinkedIn. So this market is also very active on LinkedIn. But what's interesting about Europe, here is Western Europe and Eastern Europe, but at least even if we split them to Western and Eastern, still each country is so unique, so different from others. This is why it's very hard to find some common characteristics between these countries. But I found some, I will share them with you. But in general, in Europe, you need a separate go-to-market strategy for each of these markets. What we have here, first of all, European audiences appreciate politeness. You need to be polite and don't be pushy, don't push, don't spam a lot. And it's important to start with networking, conversation, and also be valuable for them. Yeah, as like in the US market. Also, it's very, very crucial that you need to prioritize local languages. Of course, in some countries, people speak English, it's not a problem. For example, English is a native language for the UK. English is used a lot in the Netherlands. And for example, in Germany, in some cities like Berlin. Yeah, Ksenia is saying thank you, Ksenia. Yeah, if you have any questions, just jump and share in the chat. Okay, and this is why it's important to prioritize local languages. For example, in some countries, we even faced the problem that some clients, potential clients, they don't want to speak English, even if they know it. Like, for example, in France, we experienced this situation that they expect that if you are reaching out to them, you will speak French, of course. Why English? What is it? So yeah, Fernando was going to say France. Yeah, this is right. And sometimes in some other countries too, but actually Europe is pretty open to English. So in the most countries, you could negotiate in English. And the first and very important point here is that you need to respect GDPR and other local legislations. And they have a lot of specifics, especially in the field of privacy, data, and data security, and all of this. A lot of different specifics, a lot of laws about it, and especially if you, for example, work with some personal data of European citizens, especially the European Union, it's very risky, and you need to deep dive into this legal topic. Yeah, Anna is saying if you need to speak French with your customers, just let me know. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll make a note. Yeah. Sometimes we have these projects in some languages where we don't have the native speakers at the team. Yeah, we find some freelancers to help us in these projects. Actually, for now, we mostly have Spanish-speaking people and English-speaking, of course. This is the main language for us. Yeah, and Spanish-speaking people in the team. But for the rest of the languages, yeah, we work with freelancers. So I would appreciate the offer. So for European companies, yeah, here is my kind of joke that the foreign company that respects the privacy in local legislation, the global company that respects privacy in local legislation, yeah, and local company that's for sure respects everything I've mentioned before, because this is a local company, yeah, they know everything. So you need to know the rules here and sometimes even local languages. Yeah, so the idea here is going global, become local. Yeah, each market, each country is unique, very unique, and you need to learn about local specifics in terms of languages, legislation, psychology, communication, yeah, and marketing. And it's a lot of research, for example, even before you enter these markets. But actually, even you do deep dive and research, in my opinion, and I felt it myself, that the best experience you will get if you are physically present in the country where you are going to grow your business. Because only if you are here physically, if you are communicating with some people on site, it helps you to actually feel it, not just know after the research, but feel it. And it's very important. If you feel it, you have some intuition and you could just make some better decisions, yeah, comparing to just looking into some data. And it's important, of course, but feeling it's some additional, I would say, bonus and acceleration of your presence on some local markets. And here I would like to recommend you a book I've read several months ago. It's called The Culture Map, and the Irene Meyer, she wrote it, and she's from the US, but she lives in France with her family. Her husband is French, and this is a very practical book where you could find different stories about various cultures, and you could understand better how different cultures work. And she has a scale with points for each country, where this country is based on some different scales. For example, in terms of communication, in terms of, I don't know, some trust and some other parameters. So you could, with this book, you could have the, I would say, a systematic view on different cultures. So highly recommend it. It actually exists in many languages. Yeah, you can find it, I guess, almost everywhere. And before we go to the bonus tip, how to earn your LinkedIn Top Voice badge, I would ask, maybe you have some questions about what we were talking about, or you have some feedback or comments on that. If you do, you could post it in the chat, or you can just unmute and say it if it's comfortable for you. Yeah, please. Do you have any questions or comments?
Actually, I do, Olga.
Yeah, please.
So I've had experience with people connecting with me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And as soon as I accept them as a friend, they immediately start pitching me on
Yeah.
their services. Is this a recommended practice, or what do you suggest instead of doing that?
It depends. Yeah, it's a very good question, because it depends on the market, and it depends on the segment. For example, if you are working with potential partners, not clients, right? Partners, where you have the proposal for them, which is beneficial for both sides, right? In this case, you could start pitching right away. Just use this direct approach, and it works well, especially if we are talking about Latin region, MENA region, and some Asian countries too. Yeah, it works well. It would work not so great in the US and in European countries. Yeah, also I have a question from Anya about Australian market. For Australian market, we don't have so much experience there. We actually didn't have projects in Australian market for, I guess, a couple of years. Yeah, so this is why I don't know for now, but in my opinion, it's quite similar to the US audience and to the UK audience. Of course, they are very different, yeah, from each other, um, but still. Sorry, Fernanda, I actually wanted to continue asking, answering your question um, about um, about this. I would say like spamming and going to personal messages and pitching right away. Uh, but for some markets and for example potential clients, it doesn't work well. But it works great if you just, for example, you connected with some people and you send them messages right away. For example, the same day or after 2 or 3 days after you connected to them, because many people they just wait that you will come to them and explain why you decided to send them a connection request. And if you, for example, send something like that, you are just growing your audience and you're connecting to very interesting people from the region, or you are connecting with people from your industry, it could be an okay explanation for them. Yeah, and they would appreciate it, because if you don't explain, for some people, especially in the US market or in Europe, they could feel uncomfortable because they don't understand why you decided to send them a connection request. So you could do this, but without pitching, without pushing. Yeah, so it depends. Yeah, thank you. So do you have any other questions or comments, or we'll continue with some bonus part? Okay, looks like we can jump to the next part. Oh, thank you, Sergey, yeah, for the inspiration. So what to do to earn your LinkedIn Top Voice badge, and why do you need it? First of all, I'm talking about the yellow or gold or I don't know, brown badge you can see on this slide. And this badge is called a Community Top Voice badge. And it could be in different topics. For example, I have a top social selling voice, or before I used to have B2B marketing strategy voice, etc. So, and for our clients, we've got various badges like top leadership voice, top business development voice, top I don't know, venture investment voice, etc. So many kind of badges. And how to do it? This badge is with you for 60 days, and after 60 days, it just disappears. And it means that you need to do go through this process again, yeah, step by step, and you will get it for the second time. And this is my second badge. So what you need to do? First, you need to choose your expert topic. Let me maybe send you the link to the chat. Just a second. I will just send it to you because you can just check it and find your topic you would like to choose. And actually also I will send you my LinkedIn profile, because if you have any questions or you would like to get my slides, you could just send me a message and I will share it with you. Yeah, I've sent it to the chat. I've sent first, this is the link to the topics. And the second is the link to my profile. So let's connect. I would be glad to connect with you. So I will just go full screen. What are we doing next? You choose your topic. It could be any topic. There are so many of them here, like in the alphabetical order. After that, when you just chose some of your topics, you could start earning your badge. How to do it? First, you've already chosen this topic, and then you could pick 3 to 5 questions, articles in your chosen topic. Just 5 articles in one topic, and you need to answer them. And it's very important, very important approach that have like one article, one answer, not one article, 3 answers. It doesn't work this way. Yeah, it's important to keep it one article, one answer. And then actually, fortunately or unfortunately, but the number of reactions decides, I would say, whether you will become top expert or not. Each of your answer should have many reactions. For example, 5 or more reactions from your audience, likes or other reactions. And based on your reactions, you will become one of the top 3 experts in each article. And your goal is to become top experts in at least 3 articles, or if you are a top expert in 4 or 5, it's also great. Yeah, but at least 3. You need to be in this list of top 3 people in this article. You actually, if you use the mobile version of, for example, you could open it in your mobile app or just mobile internet, browser. In this case, you will not see this list, but if you open these questions, these articles, just on your computer, on your laptop, you will see this list of top experts in the article. And your goal is to become top expert in 3 to 5 articles. After that, you just need to wait because our clients, some of our clients, they get their badge like the next day after 24 hours. Some of them, they get them later. Before, it was the longest period when one of our clients, he was waiting for 4 days before getting the badge. He answered, we supported his answers, he became the top expert in each article, and then we were just waiting. And in 4 days, we've got this badge. But yesterday, we had, I would say, the new records, Guinness records, that we waited for 9 days before getting the badge. So timing could be different for each topic because as we noticed that many topics are moderated manually because we can see that the timing vary from topic to topic. So this is how it works. And also some little bit of a tip, that how you could do it very easily. You can, for example, if you have some, I don't know, you could record your answers using the script or maybe some Telegram, you could record your answers, you could transcribe them, and after that you could ask ChatGPT to create a comment based on your transcript. So it's still your thoughts, it's still your expertise, but it's very easy. You just say something, you just answer questions, and ChatGPT just writes the comment. It's very easy to do it. And this is an example of one of my answers to collaborative articles, which was generated using these 3 steps. I recorded the audio and I transcribed it automatically, and I asked ChatGPT to create some text. And first it created a longer text, and then I asked it to make it short. So basically.
Let me ask you this, Olga.
Yeah.
What do you find is the is the secret to getting the most reactions? Is it like the most complete answer, or maybe a unique approach? Like, what do you
Yeah,
suggest?
it's actually funny because thank you for the question, because if you are an influencer, if you have many connections and you have many reactions on your regular posts, uh, I think that you just need to just post it, just answer these questions. You don't need to do anything else, and your audience will see them in their news feeds, and they will put these reactions, and it would be okay. For the rest of LinkedIn users, uh, it doesn't work this way, unfortunately. If you, for example, are very creative, you are very, I don't know, your answer is perfect. Still, it doesn't work this way. People don't interact with them. We tested it several times. The only way how we are getting these badges on a regular basis for different clients, and I help just some people just for free sometimes, because I want them to, I don't know, to be to look interesting on LinkedIn, and I could help some of you too if you reach out to me. Yeah, I will support your answers for sure. It's just about asking people to support answers. For example, in my team, we have 30 people. And for each client, for example, we have team chats in Microsoft Teams. And for each client, for example, some project manager wants to get the badge for their clients, and they send 5 links, and they ask, please support our answers. We would like to get this badge, and my team members support them. Or, for example, when I do it in some, I don't know, workshops and in some clubs, etc. So people support each other there. And this is how it works. Unfortunately, just some random people from LinkedIn, they won't. Some of them, they will react, but it will be just a couple of people. And it's not enough. It works effectively if you ask some people to react. Yeah, this is how it works. Unfortunately, it's not about demonstrating your expertise, it's about number of likes. But yeah, this is how the current algorithm works. So, but still, it just gives you some benefits, because when you have, if you have this badge, people just approve your connection requests better. We checked with our clients. For some clients, it's 20% better. For some clients, it's 10% better. But in general, connection rate increases if you have this badge. Also, some of our clients, after getting this badge, they started getting some offers to speak maybe on some podcasts, to speak on some on-site events, etc. Because for people in general on LinkedIn, it's a sign that these experts are real experts, and especially it's a wow effect, because these people, most of the LinkedIn audience, they don't know how to just earn this badge, and they think that it's very hard to do. And this is why when they see that you have this badge, they just think, wow, this is a great expert. LinkedIn gave them this badge. Yeah. So yeah. Thank you, Marina. Yeah, but in general, it's just about likes. But I think that you can use it because if it helps you to, for example, build your brand, and it helps you to build your network and get some new opportunities, yeah, definitely use it. So at the end, I wanted just to share my contacts. If you have any questions or you would like to get these slides, you can reach out to me by email. I have my email here on the slide, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I've already posted my file link. I will just do it again, just in case maybe someone haven't seen it yet. And that's it. Yeah, thank you so much. thank you for being with us and for your questions. Yeah, I appreciate it. And Fernando, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I just wanted to, on behalf of everybody here, wanted to thank you for your time. And I think everybody should follow Olga on LinkedIn because she lives what she is talking about. So, like she came to the way we met is she came to a meetup that I was speaking at, an actual in-person meetup. She was invited by a mutual friend of ours. And yes, by the way, her presentation is going to be available. What is it you want them to do? To message you directly, Olga, and that you could provide them the slides?
I can send it on LinkedIn, yeah, or by email if you reach out to me, yeah, I will send it.
So
Yeah.
when I gave my talk at the meetup, Olga was there, and then in like 2 days later, she wrote a detailed write-up of my talk at the meetup. And so that's an example of creating valuable content, and of also, it's a great example of helping others, look good on LinkedIn, right? So she made me look good by, giving me a summary of my speech that I gave. So yeah, Olga she lives what she talks about. And again, if you want to, hire Olga, I mean, tell us about your company again, modemup.com.
Yeah, what we do, we help clients to actually develop the personal profiles of their founders, top managers, or key employees for the goals to, for example, enter new markets, find new B2B clients or partners, or sometimes even, for example, find new employees, but it's a rare case.
Yeah, perfect. And then again, if you want to go to my website, you can see what I do. I help companies write books to get into the US market as a thought leader, and use the book as a way to generate leads and as a way to get on podcast interviews, to get to be a speaker at conferences, etc. It's a great way to come in to the US market, or any market really, as a thought leader and as somebody who is an expert in their field. Thank you very much, everybody, and stay tuned. I'll be sending an email out with the recording of this webinar, and I'll see you next time. By the way, next week at this time, Joe Polizzi, the founder of the Content Marketing Institute, he's the godfather of content marketing. He's going to be giving a webinar at this time next week, and you can find the information on the website under events. Okay, talk to you all later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
yeah,
you.
don't miss the next one. It's a really great expert. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.